Hi there. First of all, I want to apologize for my tired face. For us living with chronic illnesses and thriving through. And yeah, I just ended this book and I wanted to do a review, despite the fact that I'm almost asleep on my feet. But hey, this book is so amazing that I felt like I had to speak about it just now that I just finished it. It's Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh, and I have to say this is the first book of hers that I have read. She has another two, the second one of this series that's called Song of the Dead, and then she has another one that I don't exactly hear, Fear the Drowning Deep. And I have to say that tomorrow I'm gonna get the two books that I am missing of hers. So I have to say this is amazing what she writes, and I have to say that I just love this book so much. We are going to find lots of interesting topics inside this book, such as same-sex relationships. So we're going to have inclusion and we're going to have representation, but not only with LGBT representation, but also we are going to find people from different places, different skins, that's not that word. I wanted to say different color of skins and different cultures, even though we are having the action, it's going to happen in a somehow closed space, but we are going to find different representations of people, which I have to say I loved. What is this book about? This is very exciting because it's a very new concept I had never seen before. So what we are going to find here is we are going to find necromancers, but I don't know about you, but when I think about necromancers, I instantly think about people who raise the dead to make armies of skeletons or things like that. But here we're going to find that necromancers, what they do is they keep raising the same people, and so we have this division between the people who are alive and the dead with capital D. When someone dies, if the necromancers are paid, this person can be raised again in their own body. But there is this downside. They have to be completely covered so no one can see their exposed skin. So if they show some part of their body, they convert into shades. Shades are like just these monstrous things that feed on the living, where it's the flesh or the soul or the blood, whatever it is, you don't want to find a shade because they are killers. So it seems that even if no flesh is exposed and they are completely covered, when the years keep on going by, these people who have been brought back to life tend to have themselves turn to darker impulses like being angry, being mad, being antagonizing. So they have to be killed again and they have to be brought back again to life. And this is normal. This is the way of living in this place, in this city called Karthia. And it's normal. We have these generations of dead people who live alongside the people who are real alive. Well, both of them are alive, but there's some differences. I'm not going to say much more, so you want to read that. And also we are going to find another kind of makes. We have necromancers, we have beast makes that have this close relationship with animals. And I have to say that even though this book goes about necromancers, I have to say that I love the ones that have this amazing link with animals. I think that I will be a beast master myself because I love animals. We are going to find these people. There is a girl who has 4 greyhounds. There is another girl who has a grizzly bear. So that's amazing, and I have to say that I love how big this world is and how amazing this story is. I'm not going to say much more about characters, or I'm going to talk about characters, but I mean inside the plot. We are going to find these people who keep on rising the dead so they can keep on living. And then suddenly it seems that someone is doing something weird because there's lots of shades, and whilst they should be on the other wall, into the Deadlands, they seem to be appearing in our wall. And at the beginning it may be like some dead people, maybe they are turning into shades, but there's like lots of them, and it seems like someone is doing something that shouldn't be done. And that's going to be the mystery. Why is this happening? Why there are so many shades? Why they seem to be waiting for something, orders, control, whatever. So we are going to be thrown into this mystery about what's happening and why is, sorry for the expression, everything is going to shit. I have to say that I have been mesmerized by the plot. And the world building, I love how the author has created this world where we have dead people who revenants, if we want to call them that. They're not called that in the book, but I want some way to refer to them. Imagine revenants who die and come back to life, living alongside living people, and there's this nice relationship going on between them. And we have this world, and how it's explained to us, and it makes sense. It's amazing. I never questioned myself while reading this book about is it possible, why is it happening, but there's some people in this world that think that maybe dead people should be dead. Obviously, if someone dies, they can say that they don't want to be brought to life, and it's okay. It's a choice. People can decide if they want to be brought back to life, or stay dead. So for me, it was amazing the way in which it's explained to you, because everything makes sense, and the difference between the different people who use magic, the ones that talk to beasts, there's people who control the wither, there's people who control the living and the dead, and that for me was amazing because it feels very real and it's very well explained. So the world building is amazing. And as I say, the plot is amazing too, knowing what's going on, why suddenly all this system that has been working so well for so long, why is beginning to be tempered with, why are shades appearing, what's behind all of that. And I have to say that I love that. For me, the best thing alongside the world building and the magic system in this book, it's the characters. I am completely in love with many of the characters. We are going to find this main character who's called the Sparrow, and she's a necromancer, and she goes through very at the beginning of the book, she's confronted with something very sad, and she goes through strong changes in her life, and she finds herself lost. And I love how human she is, and I love how she gets to be broken, and how she clings to something that's bad for her, but she wants to forget. She doesn't want to feel the pain. I love how imperfect she is, because I say that thousands of times, but I kept reading books where we have these heroes per people, this hero's person who is perfect. Everything that they do is good. They never do something bad, so they just like impossible. And I love that lately we are having these characters in books that are so far from the hero, the standard hero. They can still be good when they do something bad. I mean, that's what life is, right? It's learning about things that you did wrong. It's being afraid of feeling pain. It's being afraid of losing someone. It's being afraid of not being enough, and just keep on trying and just keep on fighting, because life is far from perfect. And I was tired of having this hero prototype of a character that everything it's done perfectly. And as I say, I love that in this book we are going to find imperfect characters that rage, that cry, that feel pain and doesn't want to. And I have to say that I completely love these kinds of characters. I love to see how they grow, how they stumble, how they do crazy things. I love that kind of books. For me, it's amazing. So we're going to find this girl who's far from perfect, but who is trying to find her footing in life, and he's trying to cope with all the shit, sorry for the expression, that life is throwing at her. And she's going to be wondering, why me? Why this is keeping happening to me? Why I cannot be simply happy? Why all this thing is going on? I just want to, stop and take a breath and just be me. I love that character. We are going to find other characters that complete the wall of this one. We're going to find a girl who is the beast magician, and she has a grizzly bear. She's called Meredith, and I love how strong she is, and how even though she presents herself as strong, as very countered, as very centered, she is far from that. And I'm not going to explain much more about her, because you're going to have to keep on reading, because the best things on this book about Meredith comes from half the book to the back, to the end, sorry. And I have to say that I love the relationship between Meredith and the Sparrow and the other secondary characters. I also love that there's, as I say at the beginning of the review, which is beginning to sound very weird, but yeah, I will say that I don't feel so well, but I'm trying to do my best, so be with me. I love the representation that we have with a same-sex couple. I love that there's two guys that they are dating and they're together, and no one raises any kind of complaint, because that's how it should be. And I love how there are characters that feel attracted by men, there are characters that feel attracted to both men and women. I love to have this diversity in books, because for me it's very necessary. If I go out onto the world, I'm going to see all kinds of love, I'm going to see all kinds of people, and for me it's important to have it represented in a book. So I don't know what more I can say about this book if I haven't convinced you already to pick it up. It's a book about the importance of change, the ability we have of adapting ourselves, and how, despite the fact that we also need some kind of stability, we need to incorporate some change into our lives so we can keep on growing. It's also a book about friendship and love, about separation, about being better than what we were, of learning, opening our eyes to the world and seeing the things from ourselves. This world is full of amazing things if only we see them, if we want to see them. I love that when some character dies, there are sentences like, why is the sun going up? Why the world keeps on going round? I don't know, it's like when you lose someone that you love very much. Sometimes you hear the birds chirping and you see the sun and you think, why the world keeps on turning, why everything is going on when I have lost so much. And I loved seeing that kind of thing represented in this book, because sometimes when we lose people we love, we have this feeling of how can the world keep on going without knowing what just happened. And I love having this kind of thing here, because death is a part of life, but it's a part that no one wants to see close, because that means losing someone that you love, or losing yourself, or losing a friend, or losing family members. So I think that it's very well represented when we are dealing with loss in this book. And yeah, I'm going to keep talking and saying all the good things this book has for me. It's a solid 5 stars over 5. So do yourself a favor, just pick her book, fall in love with the relationships she forges in this book, also the relationships between human and animals, which I have loved very much. And yeah, read this one because it's amazing. Thank you for watching, and bye. Well, see you later.